Hey everyone, it's Matt DeWolf, Editor-in-Chief, Car Wash Magazine. Welcome to this week's edition of Car Wash Magazine Live. And so on this week's show, we've been talking for the last few weeks a lot about COVID-19 and what's going on there. We are still going to talk about things related to that, but we're going to shift gears a little bit, and we're going to go towards a little bit of a lighter format for you, maybe lift up the spirits a little bit as some of us start to kind of weather this storm. So let's just start out real quick here. I want to show you guys the format change. Ta-da! All right, so that's our format change. Just kidding. There's more to it than that. So what we've got a flip screen here on the left, so you can kind of see in the program what's going on and what's coming up. And at the bottom, we've got some resource links and some information that's going to help you guys out as you watch the program. So, without further ado, let's get rolling, shall we? All right. So the highlight of this particular moment for me is that if you missed the announcement, International Carwash Association did announce their 2020 Hall of Fame inductee. Normally, this is something that we would have done at the car wash show. Unfortunately, this year that wasn't able to happen. But this year's inductee is Dan Pecora of Erie Brush Manufacturing. And Dan has led a storied career in the car wash industry, a very well-respected man, and is really part of what makes this industry great. But to give you all a little bit of a sense for Dan, we thought it might be nice to bring together a little video from some of his peers and friends in the industry. As you guys are watching, use the Facebook comments to leave your well wishes for Dan too, and we can get those to him to let him know just how appreciated he is and how much we appreciate him as the 2020 Car Wash Hall of Fame inductee.
Welcome to the Hall of Fame, Dan. It's an honor I think you well deserve. After being known you for 30 years, congratulations.
Hi Dan, John Sobieski. I'd like to thank you for over 30 years of friendship and great products. One of the first things we ever added to our car washes was foam brush, and Erie Brush has always been our choice. I've been to countless Erie Brush parties at the car wash events, and I've eaten way too many of your shrimp over the years. I've also gotten to know you at many of the Chicagoland car wash events, and I would have to say you were the best dressed at all these parties. And I appreciate all of your counsel over the years. I wish you many more years of health and happiness. Thanks, Dan.
Hi, Art Stevens, President, International Drying Corporation. I just want to say to Dan Pecora, congratulations on your entry into the Car Wash Hall of Fame. You're a very deserving individual. You've served us for decades with honesty, integrity, and a zest that we all wish we could have. Thank you for everything you've done, and mostly thank you for your friendship. Congrats, Dan, and thank you.
I've known Dan Pecora and his family since my father first contacted him more than 50 years ago, and Halco became a distributor for Erie Brush. Dan is known for his honesty and straightforward reputation and is long overdue for the honor of Hall of Fame honorarium. His knowledge and expertise have always been shared freely to car wash owners and operators. Thanks to his business collaboration, he's been an essential part of Autobell and Halco's development. The Pecora family has served tirelessly over the years to the car wash industry, and I want to personally wish Dan and his family all the best in the years ahead.
So I got a phone call the other day from the International Carwash Association, Dan, telling me you're the 2020 recipient of the Hall of Fame Award. Congratulations, it couldn't go to someone more deserving. I look at your story as a true American success story, starting a small brush company in 1948 in the basement of your home, and then becoming a premier supplier to an industry that means so much to us. I look personally back, and I remember when I was an owner-operator and you first sent me an invitation to one of your hospitality suite events at a trade show, and I felt special that you had done that, because as I looked around the room, I realized I was with all the who's who of the industry, who again were all of your clients. By the way, I was the young kid that ate all the shrimp that time, so sorry about that, I didn't know any better. Professionally, I think I started in a more serious way with you in 1991 as I took over Sonny's from my dad and was purchasing product from you for both the catalog, which we still do, and of course on our OEM equipment. I think personally for me what's been so special about the relationship is everything we've done, Dan, has been on a handshake. You're a true old school kind of guy like that, and to me that's what makes you so special and why the industry, because of guys like you, is what it is today. Congratulations, Dan.
All right, guys. So awesome honor for Dan Pecora, this year's 2020 Hall of Fame inductee. Again, leave some positive comments here in the Facebook stream, and we'll make sure that those make their way to Dan to show how much we appreciate him. Now, moving forward here in the program, we've got, as always, lots of resources for you. Carwash.org/sharing. That's the spot you want to go if you're looking for all things resource development, resources related to developments in COVID-19. So you can check that out. We also have a industry pulse survey that's gone out. We did one for both operators and the supplier community. That's all around figuring out what kind of the sentiment is going on with all the kind of reactions to COVID-19 over the last month or so. Be on the lookout. You may be receiving another survey in the next couple of weeks. If you do receive that survey, please take the time to fill it out. It does help us get the most accurate information and good intelligence. The old saying goes, the more you know, right? So help us out on that front and fill that out. Now, you guys, you know what time it is? It's time for everybody's favorite segment. We got jokes. All right, so here come the dad jokes. I've got one this week for you. A first submission for us, since you guys didn't want to submit any for me the first couple weeks of doing this, but here we are. So thank you to Jimmy Branch, our friend Jimmy Branch, for this week's We Got Jokes, dad jokes. All right, so here it goes. Why does the last reclaim tank wave to the first reclaim tank? Because it appreciates the sediment. You guys, come on, it's good. You know it's good. You know it's good. You know it's good. All right. So enough of that. We're going to move on from dad jokes. Remember to send them to mdewolf@carwash.org. Let's go ahead and move to the next segment, Open in Ohio. We're going to unmute our friend John Roush and get him on the screen. Hang on just a second, John. Let's get you unmuted. I think you're good now. Let's bring you up on the screen, John Roush. Where are you, buddy? There you are, John. Can you?
I'm here.
Hey,
can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Thanks. All right. So, I was going to ask you about the cow. I didn't know if cows were COVID approved or not, but there he is.
Yeah, we've got here he is. He's our PPP COVID approved machine right there, safe from all diseases.
That's funny.
Except for all the ones inside the cow suit from previous people wearing it.
Well, right. I mean, that might be an issue. John, thanks for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking the time. I thought we might start. We got a couple things going on. We're going to get a tour with you a little bit later, but first, I thought maybe we could just do a quick interview session with you. Just tell folks kind of your quick path into the industry, and then I want to get into kind of how you guys reopened. So let's start with why in the world did you get into car washing?
Alcohol and a problem, apparently. No, love the industry. Kidding. I say that a lot, but no, we're about 11 years in the industry. Started out of necessity. Just the car wash I washed at closed down, and I started looking at the business and found we really needed it. We didn't have it here in Central Ohio, and we started the first Moo Moo Express car wash in February of 2009. And we're operating 17 Moo Moos in Central Ohio now. We have another brand called Flying Ace in Dayton, where we have 8 of those. And we've got a new brand called Clean going into the Cleveland market. We've got currently 4 of those in construction and a couple in planning. So we're still growing. 25 operating a day and another 7 to 10 here this year still for us in the company.
So you guys are rocking and rolling, that's for sure. You could say that?
Hopefully. We're rolling. Yeah.
You're rolling. Maybe not rocking so much right now, but that's okay.
Fun times.
So you guys got a pretty good trajectory. You had things kind of in order, and then COVID happened, and you guys closed down. Walk me through a little bit of that real quick.
So we were running a real nice year. Making great progress and improvements and stuff. We're always working to improve our business, and I think that's what's made my team so successful. That nothing's ever good enough. So, unfortunately, last month we've had a ton of distraction with this. But yeah, we were rolling along pretty well. We saw this coming. We had originally taken the stance that we were going to stay open because of all the legal aspects that we could stay open, and our governor put a stay-at-home order in on, I think it was Monday the 24th, and that night at 11:59, the stay-at-home would start, and that day we got lit up on social media, on email, on phone calls, and I just said, okay, I see where this is going. Let's step back, take a pause, and figure out what we can do. So we made a choice really that afternoon at 4 o'clock. We kind of rounded the troops up and said, we're going to close tomorrow. And from that point on, we just worked for basically that 2 weeks to get a better, safe operating procedure put together. We went to all of our county health departments, got their blessing to operate with those new procedures, and we got all counties to approve us, got all the documentation, got all of our SOP put together, and we opened up basically 2 weeks after we shut down. So lots of cleaning. We kept everybody working. We maintained all of our salary staff, and we did furlough our hourlies, and we brought back about half of our hourlies. We got reopened up. And we've been high acclaim to open. I mean, the customers couldn't be happier to get back open. So other than the 2 weeks of lost revenue, it really was a positive experience. And we've done a lot of things that we're going to pull forward in the future too, to even operate a little safer. So some negatives, but then some pretty good positives in the way we're operating now. I feel really comfortable with our people here and how we operate around this crazy, the Rona, I call it.
The Rona, not my Corona.
That's not my Corona or my Sharona.
Tell me, you're talking about the positive things. Let's talk about a couple of those. Like what for you is kind of the bright spot in some of this?
Well, we've taken a whole look at our customer engagement aspect. That's a big piece of it. How we're working with our customers through digital platforms. We knew we needed to do it, but we didn't take the steps that we needed to do it. So, reworking our websites and our customer interaction with our Unlimited Club, been a big piece to it, making it very easy for them to sign up, manage, work their club. That's a big deal. We're working with Micrologic, just had a call on that today, and they've got some really awesome things coming up with that. And then the safety of our people. We've really looked at how we operate, how our people operate, their locations in this wash, dealing with customers. Been a lot of really cool things that we've implemented in there that we'll roll forward forever. I mean, I think we're all going to change from this forever and ever. And part of it is maybe some health issues. You're going to take care of yourself a little better, or you're going to wash your hands better. Yep. So I think in the long run, we'll see some good positive things from this.
Yeah, I agree. John, you'd think I scripted it, but that's a perfect segue into my next bit here that I want to share with folks. But we're going to come back to you in about 3, maybe 4 minutes here, and we're going to get a tour of your site, and I want to see some of the stuff that you guys have been doing. But for right now, can you hang with us for just a minute?
We're here.
All right, awesome. All right, for everybody else watching
Thanks.
here, check this out real quick. Hey, David. So today I thought maybe we'd just talk a little bit about what we might be doing as operators, if volumes might be down, or if we might actually be closed. So I know we did a Car Wash the Podcast episode on this just a couple weeks ago. Why don't you kick us off with just a couple good ideas?
Yeah, we had a great podcast on that and talked about it. I know the situation has changed for a lot of people. Some people are open now where they were closed before, but there are still some car washes that are closed. So yeah, I look at it as, let's look at this as a gift of time that we've not ever had in the car wash industry. We're always so busy washing a lot of cars. We're always trying to fit things in. So think about those things that maybe you've always wanted to fit in that you haven't had time for. Put that on your list. And I would say, if you are closed, there's a couple great opportunities. Think of it as a downtime. So you would normally take a down week, or you'd have downtime to do some heavy maintenance. See if there's an opportunity to perform some heavy maintenance right now. Yeah. Where you might have to get some parts, you might have to get some equipment, but just think if you can take advantage of the time you have there. And the other great tip that I heard from someone, I don't remember who it was, but they talked about making sure you run your car wash. Don't let your car wash sit there for days and weeks on end without running it, because car washes are designed to run. And when they don't, there's all these gremlins that seem to find their way into the system. And you want to make sure things are lubricated, things are running well, the water's running, your soap dispensing systems are doing what they're supposed to be doing. The adjustments are still in play with the equipment. Equipment can get out of adjustment so quickly. It's even when it's running, let alone not running. So, make sure you run it, make sure things are looking good. So when you do get the order to open, you'll be able to open. The other thing we talked about, though, if you are open or if you do have time, you might take a look at your policy and procedures manual and see if there's some things maybe you want to update there. take a look and see how your training is doing. You might train some people. It's a great opportunity to cross-training employees too. So you can put them in different roles and start training the tunnel attendant to become an assistant manager, and assistant manager to become a site manager. Start training the next generation of employees. And if you're able to get together, and again, there's a lot of caveats that you need to think about if your state or your local government allows you to even congregate. If you're able to, you do want to take those things into consideration. You might think about your hours if you are open, if you're going to do shortened hours right now, or if you're going to do longer hours. And then the one point you brought up, which was great, Matt, in the podcast, was talk about it's a great time to revamp your marketing strategy.
Yeah. For me, the hardest thing when you try to market anything is finding enough time to really plan for it, right, and do it well. And especially in the car wash industry, when we're talking about super entrepreneurs out there, I think it's really hard to sit down and think about what we're doing and evaluate that on an ongoing basis. So I think right now, when we've, like you said, have the gift of time, I'd kind of focus on two things. Number one, make sure we're evaluating what that brand looks like and how you want that to show up, especially as you get back to this new abnormal. Because I think that for a lot of us, we've been going, and we have a brand and that's established, and that brand's going to change. It is 100% going to change as soon as we come out of this thing. So be mindful of that and be preparing now and planning ahead for what that looks like for you and how you want to show up for your customers when we get back to that. I think the second thing for me that I harp on a lot is really around this concept of content strategy. And a lot of people define content strategy a lot of different ways. For some people, it's the actual structure and information architecture. For some, it's just cross-promoting and merchandising. For me, really, all it means is take a little bit of a stock in what you're putting out and where you're putting it out, right? And so thinking about that customer journey from the moment that they start kind of outside your funnel and kind of come in, to every touch point along that way, and what content you're feeding them and what kind of a relationship that you're actually forming with that customer. And I think that that's a hard thing to do when you're in the day-to-day operations, but when you have some time, it's a great opportunity to look at that and look at things like, especially right now, am I doing enough on social in terms of just adding sponsored content and adding messaging to folks that are out there, because everybody's scrolling their phones right now. You might also consider adjusting media buy. If you're doing, maybe you're doing radio and maybe you were doing some TV a little bit, you might adjust that. You might start looking at what can I do for digital content providers like Netflix, Hulu, and some of those opportunities. So I think it's a great time from a marketing perspective to just kind of put everything on the table and really evaluate it.
Yeah, because you want to get out front. You're going to want to get out in front of that because you've got to regain your customers. You've got to claim your customers that you had. You're going to want to acquire new customers possibly. Yeah. So there's some opportunities there. We did a great podcast with Levi McClendon from OptSpot on text marketing, and think about how great if text marketing was one of the tools we had in our arsenal 4 to 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Instantaneously communicating with our customers what's going on, what's happening, how much of a benefit or impact that could have made for us.
And the truth of it, David, is right now people do want to hear from you. As long as you are being mindful and not coming across as trying to profit on what's going on right now, they want that connection.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey, David. All right, guys. So we're back now. We're with John Roush, live in Ohio. John, what's going on with the weather, man?
It's no bueno here.
It was supposed to be like sunny and beautiful, and this great story of your grand reopening and this whole big thing. You didn't do it for me here.
That's Ohio in April for us, so it's we get a little bit of sweat stuff coming down. At least it's not snowing, so we're good.
Yeah, right. That's the key.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So tell everybody where we're at. Well, give us the lay of the land here. What are we looking at?
So we're at our 15th location. This is called Northland on Morris Road in Columbus, Ohio. This is our beautiful barn. Beth, would you like to show the barn here? We're staying in the stacking lane of the barn. So we've got a dual stack on this one, and I want to show you a few things we're doing at our kiosk. So we've got a digital menu here that we've got a kind of a new sign out that's going to cycle through to it that basically kind of gives the new rules of the game here. So it'll take a second to get through it, but it'll get there. And so we're broadcasting that here. We put a nice professionally put together graphic on this. So I'm stalling because it's going to take a second. There you go.
There it is.
So
there's the notice.
We put down our attention. So our hours of operations, we have vacuums are closed right now. Our office is closed. Please put your windows up, maintain our 6-foot social distancing, and wash your hands after you use the kiosk. And then we're routing all of our communication now through our info lines so that they're not answering the phones or customers are coming in. We're doing it all kind of through a call center at home.
That way, yeah,
Something
that
we
keeps your
always say.
staff free, right? Keeps your staff from having to manage a bunch of extra crap.
It helps.
Yeah.
For sure. So at our kiosk here, we've limited our screen flow to only have very few touches. So an unlimited is a truly touchless experience. They roll through, gate opens, they're done. But we've taken all the a la carting and all the unlimited sales up. We're not actually selling unlimiteds right now at the kiosk. Again, just so that we can have one touch, and that's it. Swipe your card, you're done. And kind of reinforcing some of the key rules here. 6-foot distance are keep your windows up and wash your paws.
Yeah, wash those hands.
And then that should be hoofs, right?
It should be, yeah. Come on.
So, and we're supplying hand sand at the kiosk location for customers after use here. And I'll show you we're cleaning this area obviously on the hourly basis. So we've got a special hand cleaner that ChemQuest does our chemistry out of Minnesota. And they also make a really good spray bottle hand sanitizer. The restaurants use its super turbo sanitizer. So this is kind of our kiosk. We'll walk over here and show you a couple other signs coming in the tunnel. And keep in mind that now we're keeping our customers to keep the car rolled up. We want a truly touchless and like contactless experience. So at this brand of car wash, we give away these little care packs that have an air freshener, dash wipe, and a towel in it. And normally our loader would hand those to our customers, but in this case, we're putting them offline so that our loader doesn't have any interaction with the window down. So it's keeping our loaders completely safe. They're by themselves. Windows are up as the car comes through the tunnel. So we've left those off. This is a key point because if we put them right where they try to grab them, they may roll in and run people over. So we intentionally leave them off so they have to get out of the car and come and get them. So that's another piece. Again, we're kind of reinforcing some other little new rules of the game here with our windows up and our 6 feet, and the vacs and the offices are closed now.
Hey, John.
And then
John, have you found on the signage? I mean, obviously, sign nobody reads, right? What's been effective for you guys on the signs? Like, is it working? Like, are people following the instructions?
It helps.
Yeah.
You know, we're never going to get everyone to read and react to everything. But, you know, if you get an 80-20 rule with this kind of stuff, it's good, right? 20% of the people are going to come in with their windows down and potentially, you know, have it open. But again, if we're 6 feet away, we're going through grocery stores, we're doing everything else in this world, and we're keeping social distancing. It's not the end of the world, but
Yeah.
what we're trying to keep is that face-to-face thing. So, you know, we're doing our part to try.
Yep.
And that's really what this whole social distancing is about. But we, on signs, anytime we want to call to attention in the company, I go with this yellow because it does catch your eye. Obviously, the word attention is helpful, but
And then
we just try to make it
pictures,
bold
right?
and bright.
Yeah, like let big pictures graphically, like make it simple for people to understand.
Totally, yeah. So we brand everything we do. I mean, we want it to look professional. I mean, if you don't have that on the back of this, this is our normal sign on there. So we make some art and flip on there. I mean, if you don't have that yellow sign, that's a great piece. You can use that. If a chalkboard or even a Windmasters or white, you can use like a dry erase pen on there.
Yep. And there's always changing. It's the basic version of your digital signs out front, right? Takes a little more effort to change it, but it can still be changed.
Yeah. Anybody can do that. So, and again, we wanted to be careful that the health departments, if they were to come to our sites as we're open and running, and all operators should know this, make sure you're following your own SOP, because the first thing a health inspector is going to say is, what are you doing? You're going to show them we have been granted the right to operate under these circumstances, and then you want to show them that you are doing those circumstances. So signage and placards and hand sanitizer, and I'll show you a sanitizing schedule. We walk in the office in a second. These are really important things to say, here's what we said we're going to do, and here's what we are doing. Leaves pretty little room for error for anybody to shut you down. I mean, last thing we want to do is get shut down on a Friday, and it's beautiful, and we got cars, and we're washing cars again. So, other than that,
John,
we had some other
more
stuff.
cows. What's going on with the cows? How many cows do you guys have?
I was going to show you. I was going to show you our. This is our new full PPP program here. So this here is a full cow suit, fully inflated, fully protected from the Rona. You will not get the Rona with this suit. This is full PPE.
I don't know.
You safe in there?
I don't know if they believe you.
Yeah. This one's for our furry PPE, and very protected, full face coverage. Really can't go wrong with this. The problem is these cows, they really don't get along very well. I mean, we're working on some culture issues here with the cows. So easy, guys, easy. They like to fight.
Tell me where we're going, John. What are you going to show us?
Right, so,
we got fighting.
So we
cows.
just walked into the office. Yeah, we just walked into the office, and I want to find a few things in seriousness. So hey, Evan here has created a wonderful. You can take your towels and you can make your own mask out of them. So
that's great.
There you go. I could do the rest like this. So that's good. Rubber band and 2 towels, perfect. Where's your sign off? Your log sheet, guys. We gotta get some cows to show you our sign off. So part of our operating procedure is to document our staff and to document our cleaning procedures. So we made a quick little book to sign off on. So all of our people, when they come into work, thank you guys, appreciate it.
Such good employees.
It's hard to even stay serious with this. So we made so we have a health check when all of our.
Oh, John, we lost you, buddy.
Yeah, sorry, someone's calling me. We have a health check when they check in, and so the staff initials on that when they check into work, basically saying I feel good, I'm no fever, I'm in good shape, and then we created a nice cleaning log by the hour and by the area for all of our SOP and our cleaning aspect. So really nice thing to have. We set it on the back desk there. If anyone were concerned about an issue, this is a pretty good thing. We also made some masks for our people. We had some custom printed masks. I don't know if you guys can grab that for me, guys. So when we get going with vacuum cleaning and outside, we are going to try to open up our vacuums here May 1st. We'll be able to give them a washable. Each person gets one that's we're going to give it to them like a uniform piece, and then they can wash and clean it and use it. So when they're doing vacuums or out in the public area, they're protected, and our customers are protected as well. So that's about it, I would say, on the big picture of like our SOP stuff.
You had a different mask though that you were showing me earlier.
Well, yeah. So we've got some other pretty cool. Anyone around the wash can use these masks. We made this. This is our first version of our SOP. It's just a drum, and you can just put it over your head, and then it didn't really work. It was a little bulky, and just it was a little weak. So then we came up with this beautifully printed and washable mask.
Oh, okay.
That we made. Cool thing too, print these and make them marketable. Like put your telephone number on if you're looking for a date or something. Pretty cool. I'm not sure what this does. This is a PP. I don't know if you wear it like this. I'm not really sure what these
somewhere.
are for.
It goes somewhere. It's noise canceling. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we found. I'm getting the hook. We found amazing. These are bug and tar removers, and since Corona is a bug, I assume that this would kill the Corona. because, you know, it's a bug and tar thing. So that was good. Really important. We found some alternate purposes of a lot of our character products. So if you get in a real pinch, you can just use these and you're good.
Yeah, right. If the hot commodity is if the hot commodity is not available, you just use your glass wipes.
Yeah. 27.
Yeah, 27
wipes.
in a pack. Yeah, 27 wipes in a pack.
Right. So, and then, you know, this great for post cleanup if you need it.
Right.
Tough
Also
stuff.
helpful.
Stain remover.
Also helpful.
Wonderful stuff. So hopefully some levity to
Oh
it,
my,
right?
John! Holy cow, man! Holy cow! That's no pun intended.
Holy cows.
Yeah. Anything else at the wash that you think might be helpful for operators to know right now as you guys are kind of getting back to the new abnormal?
Stay positive.
Yeah.
We are such a blessed industry to be open and be able to operate and be able to run. Most car washes are probably on the verge, if they're not already running now, are going to be able to get going again. We are working hard to get back to the community, and we're donating a ton of washes right now. Be community involved. So we just gave away 1,500 or 2,000 washes. We've got 7,000 people opted in to get these washes for first responders. So we put a program together. It's basically a 4-week kind of give back to the community program. You know, so we're really lucky to be open, really blessed to be open, and we want to share a little bit of love out there. I would highly suggest that. Really work your community and be involved. Your customers won't forget that you cared about them in these times. So that's a big piece to it. And then positive and safe, you know, we'll get through this.
Yep.
We're going to move forward, and, you know, the staff that rolled through with this are going to really, really enjoy being part of this ride that we've, you know, worked together and got stronger and tougher together. And 4 months from now, 5 months from now, hopefully we're sitting back on, man, that sucked, but we made it. So
Yeah.
just a few things.
Yeah. Hopefully this is not a 2021 problem for us. That would not be good.
No good.
Well, John, I really appreciate you taking a little time today with us and bringing a little light to our days, even if the weather sucks where you are.
That's right.
Our final note with John Roush, everybody. That's what he wants to leave us with. That is the positivity for you. All right, John, I'm gonna cut you loose, my friend. Thank you again. We're gonna move on to a couple things on the consumer study, but thank you. If anybody has questions in the Facebook feed, go ahead and post those, and we can get those to John and facilitate kind of an offline conversation for you guys as well. Thanks, John.
Hey, thank you for everything you do, Matt. You do a fantastic job. I really appreciate everything.
Hey, thanks, man. Bye, cows.
Take care.
All right, so we are coming up next. We've got a consumer study, a little piece for you, just to help showcase what that's all about for you. ICA does a consumer study every few years. We had one in 2016, and then we had one in 2019. So the data comes out, and we have all those output reports ready for you now. So what I wanted to share with you guys real quick here today is just a little bit about where to go for those reports and what you might expect to see there. So carwash.org/consumer study, that's where you go to get the reports to kind of learn a little bit more about what's out there. There's some new offerings out there this year, which are really cool, including some reports that go by wash type and by region. So you can kind of get a feel for what's going on in the different regions and by the different wash types to help you kind of look at your business and see what's going on there and what the consumer sentiment's like. So that said, I want you guys to hear real quick from our Chief Strategy Officer at Blue Chip Marketing Worldwide. His name's Bob Klein. You guys have probably seen him before. He comes to the show. He does a lot of education work for us around this consumer study product. And he's the chief guy who does all the kind of work around making sure the study gets pulled together and then does some of the analysis for us and works very closely with the team at International Carwash Association, including Claire Moore, to make sure that we have a really valuable product for everyone and a really helpful product. So let's just hear from Bob Klein real quick.
In our 2019 International Carwash Association U.S. consumer study, one thing proved clearer than ever. Americans love a clean car. Since the ICA began conducting these large-scale quantitative consumer studies back in 1996, never before have we seen such widespread usage of professional car washes. A record-setting 83% of Americans washed their vehicle at a pro wash in the past year, and they washed it more often than ever before. What did it add up to? An estimated $11 billion in retail sales. Certainly the winds were in our sails, literally and figuratively. Record low levels of U.S. unemployment drove significant increases in discretionary consumer spending. And that increase in consumer spending triggered a record volume of new vehicle sales. And more than any other group of vehicle owners, those who purchased a vehicle in the past 3 years are more loyal, frequent, and passionate washers.
I don't know if you guys caught that number, that 83% number. That's a big number, you guys. That's a lot of people using a professional car wash. So that's good news for the industry. Granted, that was in 2019, but that's all going to come back. So we're going to be in good shape. I think everything's going to be okay here. So again, carwash.org/consumer study for that. We are at the end of our show today. Make sure you, if you want to watch old episodes, you want to get more information, you can go to carwashmagazine.com. As always, if there's something that you want us to cover on this show, or something that you just want to have a story idea, want to give us some feedback, you can email me directly at mdewolf@carwash.org, and we will take all that input into consideration for future episodes of this show. For now, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, keep it clean.